40 million people in the country. This is going to be the next big thing. This is Europe. What's going on, everyone? This is John, the Wolf of Ecom, and in this video, I want to break down exactly how to make money in dropshipping in 2022. And no, we're not going to be talking about TikTok ads. We're going to be talking about good old Facebook ads and some new market opportunities. Okay, so if you want to see high margins, big returns, 20 to 30% profit margins like we used to in the US market in 2017, 2018, maybe even 2019 and 2020, well, you're going to want to listen up. So let's jump right into my computer and we'll walk through it. So as you can see here, I am not joking. I'm seeing crazy ROAS, crazy returns here. And this really comes down to a few things, which I'm going to show you. All right. And it wasn't this way just starting out, right? Like you're seeing here a reported 4.49 return on ad spend. That really means I'm at like a 5.56 return on ad spend, which is awesome. And just in the last few days, we ran traffic with this account. You're going to see the ROAS is even crazier, 6.37. 5.73, 3.26, 3.19. And it's crazy to see this because you won't see these kinds of numbers if you run traffic, to the US market with a new ad account, a general store. It's just not going to work unless you have a branded product or something really unique that no one in the world has ever seen. So what is the secret here? Why am I getting such amazing results? It's very simple. First of all, we're doing cash on delivery, okay, which I'll explain in a second. And second of all, we're selling to Colombia in Latin America. And what cash on delivery is basically we're going to capture the order, the person's name, email, phone number, their address, the order, what they want. My supplier who already has stock is then going to deliver the package and collect the money when they go to deliver it. So why does this work and why not use credit card? Well, credit card isn't as big of a thing when it comes to payment methods in parts of the world like Colombia, right? It's becoming a thing, but right now, what works, what people are used to is cash on delivery. So we want to basically tap into that. All right. So you're seeing here, I'm getting a really good conversion rate, right? So let's see, number of link clicks, 3563, 202 purchases. So we do 202 divided by 3563. We're getting 5.7% conversion rate, for example, with our top seller here, spent 400 USD, and we have a reported amount of sales of $2,252.46. And keep in mind, with iOS, Apple is not as common in Colombia as it is in the States, for example, where it's probably like 50-50, 60-40, however the split is. So there is a percentage of sales that are not reported, but nonetheless, the returns are amazing, okay? And keep in mind, you can see my break-even ROAS, my break-even cost per purchase here. So I break even at a $7.50 cost per purchase. We're getting $2 cost per purchase. So every unit that we sell, we're actually profiting a little bit over $5, $5.50, right? Now, there are some downsides to this, which I'll show you in a second, okay? Because cash on delivery is not a perfect model, but it is a different model, all right? So the main thing you have to keep in mind is we're tapping into a significantly less expensive traffic source. So why does this matter? Well, we reach more people for the same dollar. On the flip side, we're also having a higher conversion rate. Why do we have a higher conversion rate? Well, it's a newer market, so this is a new thing for your average Colombian has not been seeing e-commerce dropshipping products in their newsfeed for the last 5 years. It's probably more like the last 1 to 2 years. So it's anytime something's new, it can work well, right? Better than if it's been sitting there in existence for some time, right? So it's a new thing for your average Colombian to see in their Facebook newsfeed e-commerce products they can purchase at this volume that they're seeing today. And cash, so with that, new things for them, new opportunities for them, and then also cash on delivery is a lower barrier of entry because there's no actual commitment up front besides placing the order. So that brings me to downsides in a second, but the point is Colombia works like this. You get crazy high conversion rates, right? Whereas in the US market, at best, you're going to see maybe like 3%, depending on your price point, and if it's a brand, and if it's established, and a lot of other things, is because cash on delivery is a lower commitment, but it still works because people will pay for it roughly 90% of the time. And also, it's a new thing for them, right? So anytime something's new, like I said, it can work better than if it's been in existence for some time, right? So what we're doing is actually we're driving not to a Shopify product page like this, right? This does work, but I saw my conversion rate go up 50 to 70% when I moved to a page like this, where it's all customized, okay? So I've got a team of guys that are doing all this for me. They're building these custom landers, which are converting like crazy. You're seeing that almost 6% for this. And when they go to place the order, they need to fill out a form, and this is what the supplier actually receives, and the courier takes this information and goes to make the delivery. When they make the delivery to the resident, they then collect the cash. And then once the cash is collected and returned to the supplier, eventually my credit, or the credit in my account, is topped up and my funds are showing, right? So it's really interesting, a very different model, right? So we're not getting credit card payments the next day. It's not like I charge a client $50 a day and then I get that in my bank account within 1 to 2 days, maybe with Stripe or Shopify payments, depending on the region and country you're selling from or your business is incorporated in. But it doesn't mean I don't get paid. It's just there's going to be a percentage of people that will never pay because they either never answer their phone, their door, the thing can't be delivered, so the money can't be collected, or, which clients have the right to do, is reject the package. So the package shows up at their door and they say, I changed my mind, I don't want it. That does happen, not a lot. So you're looking at a healthy rejection undeliverable rate is around 10%. But even if that goes up to 20%, my margin is going to be maybe dipping into the 15 to 20% mark, which is great, right? Because in the US market at scale here in 2022, unless you're running on TikTok ads, you got things super dialed in, you're probably not going to be seeing higher margins than that with Facebook ads and a really good product, right? It could happen, but it's not guaranteed, okay? It's not typical. So the main benefits of this is that you have a higher conversion rate. There's a new market opportunity, so you could actually revive older winners. This is not a new product. This product has been in existence for some time, just like all of the other products that I have listed here, like the eyebrow stamp and the eyebrow epilator and the back scrubber, right? So all these are not new products. They are older products that have worked in European markets or the US market, and we're simply reviving them and selling them. And what my favorite part about this is there's no chargebacks, there's no returns that you need to deal with. All sales are final, because in the cash and delivery model, what are they gonna do? If they change their mind about the product because they don't think it's exactly what they wanted, they can't just call up their credit card company and say, hey, I don't want this anymore, and what's their option, right? There is no option. The sale is final, which makes your life a lot easier. Think of it as almost like affiliate marketing, right? Where you generate a lead, the network pays you every 7 days or every 14 days or every 30 days, however that agreement is. But it's the same exact idea. It's a simpler model. It's going to take more work to get set up, right? Because you need to translate to the native market. You probably need a developer potentially, unless you want to just do Shopify, which can work. I just don't recommend it. Funnels and landing pages are probably going to be your best bet. So this is how, if I were starting over today, I had some cash, I didn't need to get paid tomorrow or the next day, and I was new to ecom, this is exactly how I would start, and I suggest you do it too. Okay, so we're actually doing a beta program right now where we build, myself and one of my partners, we build out a full system that's set up custom like this, like you saw a second ago, a full system where we build out a full system that's set up custom, right? So it's going to be a custom landing page like this, translated to your market, and yeah, it's set up to full, maximize your conversion rate, cut down your cost per purchase as much as possible. And it's integrated in a way where you collect your orders and you do it in a way that it works with the supplier, for example. So, and we're working directly with several suppliers as well. So if this is something we're opening up right now to non-members of my community, but this is something we might be offering in the future. So if we do, I'll post about it. But just to let you know, this is kind of what you need to do. So there's a higher barrier of entry to get started with cash on delivery in this sense. Obviously, you could just throw up a Shopify store and get going. Not what I would recommend. But with a higher barrier of entry means less competition. So less bozos getting a Shopify store, launching and going, right? And most people want to get paid today, tomorrow, the day after. So they're not going to be as patient. They may not have as big of a budget to float the payment to get paid in 4 to 7 days, for example, once the order is placed, which is very typical. So if you want to tap into an untapped market like this, Colombia's exactly what I would start with. I'll be talking a lot more about this. This is what I'm very focused on with the e-com space right now. Very excited about this. I see this as the next big thing. And as credit cards and other forms of payment become more and more typical in areas of the world, such as Latin America and Colombia in particular, with 40 million people in the country, this is going to be the next big thing. This is Europe. Today is like, so Latin America today is like Europe was back in 2019, 2018, for example, where it was untapped, cheaper CPMs, products, e-commerce was a newer thing, right? So it was easier to get sales at lower prices. So this is how I would start e-commerce today if I were to start all over again. Here I am, obviously years in, 5 years almost. And yeah, so this is what I recommend. And this is something that you should definitely look into. I'll include some resources below this. There will be a link if you want to work with a supplier I work with, right? So I'll show you real quick. So here's the back end of the app that we are using with the supplier, right? So if I want to find products to sell, it's real simple. I would just hit search products. I'm going to type in a keyword. It will need to be in Spanish, or I could just look at the products available for me to choose from. And the coolest thing is these aren't coming from China. So they're already sitting in someone's warehouse or in someone's home or wherever it's being sourced from in Colombia itself, right? So it's already in the country. It's already waiting to be sold. I don't know why this isn't loading right now. Here we go. So let's say I want to sell this. This is a super typical product. This is done really well. So it's going to cost me 121,000 Colombian pesos, which is, just do math on that. COP to USD. It's going to cost me $30, but or 120. Yep. And they're recommending I sell this for 174,044. So there would be a $15 margin there. So if I get cost per purchase for $10 or even $5, I'll be crushing, right? So you can see, and the inventory count, there's already 500 in stock just waiting for me. There's other variants in there, right? So let's say I want to add this to my favorites. Okay, then I just go back to my import list. It should be sitting right at the top waiting for me. And I can pull this in directly into a Shopify store if I want to, which I wouldn't do because I don't need to, which is great. But there's a bunch of content I can use, right? And then I can just put this in with my developer that built out my custom site for this, my custom lander, and he could actually integrate it where it'll automatically sync all the orders. So when I go to upload my orders to the system, it's just like a one-click thing, right? So make sure to look into this more. I'll be putting out more and more content about this. I'll include the link to Droppy as well if you want to test them out yourself. But yeah, this is huge, guys. This is the next thing with e-commerce, and I suggest you get on it now, especially if you're like playing around with TikTok. That's obviously one way to do it. I just believe this is a simpler model. There's just as much opportunity with cash and delivery in these other markets today as there is, TikTok for Europe, Western Europe or US market as well. So check out the links below with this video, and until then, I'll see you next time.